everyone, it's Irene. Today I'm going to be going over the new Trial of Glory. I'm going to be going over a team guide for the giant gold incense turtle. This team managed to get me 10 billion damage, so let's get straight into it. So the team consists of Stormbringer, Black Lemonade, Linza, Pudding a la Mode and Twizzly Gummy. The treasures used on this team are Scroll, Whistle and Watch. So first up we have Stormbringer. On Stormbringer you want to run 5 attack toppings, an attack tar and then a 4-line electric damage biscuit. On Stormbringer's toppings you want her substats to go into attack, crit and cooldown. Now for Stormbringer you want her crystal gem as high as possible. Her crystal gem is really important because it increases not only her own but also her teammates' crit percent chance based on how high the level is. The higher the level of your Stormbringer crystal gem, the more attack toppings you can run over crit toppings. If your Stormbringer crystal gem is not at level 20, I would recommend running a crit tar on Stormbringer instead of an attack tar. Or if your Stormbringer is not at least at 1 ascension, you should probably run a crit topping or a crit tar instead of an attack tar, just to make sure that you are critting most of the time. Stormbringer's crystal gem is so important. If you don't have it high level, it will affect other cookies as well, so just keep that in mind. Mine is at level 21, so if yours is lower than this, you may want to run more crit on the other cookies as well, not just Stormbringer. Next up we have Black Lemonade. On Black Lemonade you want to run 5 attack toppings, an attack tar and then a 4-line electric damage biscuit, with your topping subs going into attack, crit and cooldown. And then we have Linza. On Linza you want to run 5 attack speed toppings, a cooldown tar and then a 4-line attack speed biscuit. For the subs on Linza you want attack speed and cooldown subs. Now Linza's build I wouldn't say is tricky, it's just a little bit annoying because you want to make sure that Linza is only casting once her stacks are at 7 and not before. Now I personally have this issue because I don't have a 4-line attack speed biscuit. I have a 3-line cooldown 1-line attack speed biscuit. I personally do not play the mode on auto, which you will see after. I manually cast Linza whenever her stacks are at 7. If you have a full attack speed biscuit or have a lower cooldown biscuit, you should be able to run Linza with this setup, or you can run an attack speed tar as well if you do have some cooldown on the biscuit. But what I would recommend doing is, with Linza, do a practice run first and just make sure that if you're playing on auto, Linza always casts at 7 stacks and not before. If she is casting before, you either want less cooldown on her, or you want to turn off auto and do it manually, or you can queue other cookies. I found that with this team sometimes the cookie cooldowns are really close, so it's quite difficult to play it on auto by queuing cookies because I seem to miss. And Linza will just autocast because it goes so quick. So just adjust Linza's build. It's not too much of an issue. And then we have Pudding a la Mode. On Pudding a la Mode you want to run 5 attack toppings, a crit tar and a 4-line attack speed biscuit, with your subs going into attack, crit, cooldown or attack speed. Now on Pudding a la Mode you may also be able to run an electric damage biscuit if you have 2, but don't put it on Pudding a la Mode instead of Black Lemonade. If you have 2, I would really recommend trying it because it might be better, but I personally had the most success using an attack speed biscuit because I do not have a second electric damage and there is no substitute biscuit for Black Lemonade. And then we have Twizzly Gummy. So on Twizzly Gummy you want to run 3 attack toppings, 2 cooldown toppings and a crit tar with a 4-line attack speed biscuit, with your subs going into attack, crit, cooldown or attack speed. You also want the magic candy as high as you can get it. Twizzly Gummy's magic candy also increases her teammates' crit percentage, so the higher the better. You're going to want the magic candy at a minimum of level 10, but I would recommend getting it as high as possible. Mine is at 30. If yours is not at 30, you may need to run more crit on Twizzly Gummy, Stormbringer and Pudding a la Mode. Since your cookies are not at any risk of dying, you don't need to worry about whistle and damage resist, so don't worry about who has the highest attack. So here are my stats. And here is a run. So What I do is I start by queuing Black Lemonade, making sure she casts first. Then I spam Twizzly Gummy Pudding a la Mode and then Linza and Stormbringer. Then I turn off auto and I spam click Stormbringer, Black Lemonade, Pudding a la Mode and Twizzly Gummy, and I only manually cast Linza when her stacks are at 7. And so that is the run. So that run got me to 10 billion damage. Here's the damage spread. So you can see that the highest damage dealer is Stormbringer, then is Twizzly, then Pudding a la Mode, then Black Lemonade, and then Linza. So that run got me to rank 24 on the Hollyberry server, which I don't think is too bad. The run is definitely a little bit crit RNG based. You will see a slight damage fluctuation between the runs because I personally am not running crit cap on all the cookies, instead I'm running more attack. You don't really need to run crit cap because it's not really that important since you have at least 7 attempts to do it and you can also practice the mode. I hope that this video helped you guys. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. If you have any thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions, corrections, tips, anything, I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much again for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye!